What's up everybody, I am Jaspreet Singh and welcome to the Minority Mindset. I love real estate. You've probably heard me say that like 100 times now. No, that's actually 105 times, Jaspreet. Even after going through my nightmare real estate investment property, real estate is still my favorite place to invest my money, but I don't like all real estate the same. There is one kind of real estate that I try to keep like Star Wars in a neighborhood far, far away. Condos. For those of you who don't know, I have been a real estate investor and a real estate agent for almost a decade now, and I own or have owned condos, single family homes, apartment complexes, and commercial properties. And condos are the one thing I keep my distance from as an investor, and if you agree with me, hit that thumbs up button below, and if you don't agree with me, well, you can hit that thumbs up button too. When I started investing in real estate, I didn't have a ton of money saved up, and condos were the cheapest way for me to start investing in real estate. So I decided to buy this condo as my first investment property, and it looks cute. But it's kind of like a Sour Patch Kid. It's sweet on the outside and sour everywhere else. When you own a condo, you own one unit in a larger complex which is managed by a HOA or homeowner association. And I know my drawing of this condo kind of sucks. It looks more like a jail cell, but you get the point. The HOA's job is to take care of the outside of the property. They make sure the grass is cut and the snow is plowed, and they make sure that the building is not collapsing. Everything on the inside of your unit is your responsibility. But the HOA comes at a price. I'm renting my condo out for about $800 a month, and right off of the top, I have to pay $200 each month to my HOA. The HOA can eat away at your profits as a real estate investor, and I'm lucky that in this condo, my other expenses are very low, so I'm still able to maintain a great return on my property. But that $200 fee is the least of my issues with condos. The people that run an HOA have the power to create rules out of thin air and then fine you for breaking them. I invest in real estate, but I don't manage any of my real estate investments. When I buy a property, I come up with the renovation plan and I get it rent ready, and then I hand over the keys to a property manager who handle all the day-to-day work. My management company handles all the leasing, the background checks, the maintenance, the rent collection, the bill payment, and everything in between. My job is to be a real estate investor, not a manager. And this business model works great, except when you're dealing with, you wanna guess, condos. A couple years ago, I got bombarded with a bunch of phone calls from a local number, so I decided to pick up, and it was my HOA. I figured it was serious since they kept calling me, and it was. They wanted to know the name of my tenant and their occupation. I have no idea what this information is off the top of my head, so I told them to talk to my property manager, and they said that they already did, and that my manager is gonna send them this information, but they were hoping that I could just tell them right now. I was a little confused why they couldn't wait an hour to get this information, but I didn't really think much of it. I told them that my manager will get them all the information, and we seemed good to go. A few days later, my HOA sent me a $125 fine. Now, I'm trying to figure out what went wrong because this fine was mailed to me, not a business address, and I'm calling to figure this out, and they said, "Oh yeah, sorry, we got your tenant's information, but you didn't tell us their phone number, so we had to fine you." Sorry, I was creating rules out of thin air. My management company took the blame, and they said that they would eat the cost even though they filled out the form that the HOA sent them to. By this time, I started to realize that HOAs can be a little nosy, and so we had to be a little careful when we talked to them. And then about a year ago, our HOA started creating new rules by initiating this new landlord screening policy. It's kind of like when you have to go through the airport and you have to walk through TSA, and every time you walk through TSA, you just happen to get randomly selected. Oh, is that just me? If you get randomly selected by your HOA, you need to give a detailed update on your tenant, their job status, their lease, and their favorite foods. The food part's a joke, kind of. Even though the HOA has a copy of our lease and we gave them a form filled out with all the tenant's information and there's nothing wrong and we pay our HOA fee on time each and every month, they still want to be able to take hours of your time to learn that nothing's wrong. You can see why HOAs can get a little annoying. The old HOA that our condominium had was really not that bad, and now they got this new one who was really, really nosy. But the reason I decided to finally make this video was because our condo tenant just moved out. My management company did their job and they notified the HOA as soon as the tenant moved out. I don't know why the HOA needs to know, but we told them because they wanted to know. We renovated the property and then we signed a lease for somebody else to move into this property. I was out of town. I didn't even know any of this was happening. I just get a monthly report at the end of each month with a summary of all of my units with what happened. Well, I look down on my phone and I see that I got multiple missed calls from my dear HOA. Long story short, this HOA was upset that we signed this new tenant lease and we didn't send a copy of it to the HOA within like 24 hours or something of getting it signed, and so they were gonna fine us $50. This is the little stuff that gets really annoying. $50 is not a lot of money, but you keep creating rules out of thin air and you keep putting your nose into places where it doesn't need to be. It's like when you go to a restaurant and you ask for some extra barbecue sauce and the waiter says, sure, I'll give you some extra barbecue sauce, but it'll be an extra $1.29. $1.29 isn't a big deal, it's just annoying. And that's why I have not invested in a condo since my very first deal, and I don't plan to own any more condos. I would much rather invest in a single family home over a condo, because with a single family home, you don't gotta deal with this HOA hovering over your investment, and even better than that, I would much rather invest in an apartment complex over both of these, because with an apartment complex, you only have one roof to worry about, you only have one common area to worry about, and you are in control and in charge of the entire investment. But you don't learn until you do, which is why I hope that you can learn from my experiences. And if you do want to learn more about investing in real estate, I'll link a couple YouTube videos for you to watch in the description below. Thank you for watching. If you enjoyed the video, share it with one friend. And if you don't want to miss any new videos every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday, then subscribe to the Minority Mindset YouTube channel and hit that little notification bell. That way YouTube actually lets you know when new videos are released. And as always, keep hustling.